Okay, I'm going to start. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our third session of I think the ninth Global Business Research Congress. So, my name is Burak Sabiha Kelek, and I am the lecturer at İstanbul Commerce University and also İstanbul Medipol University, and I will be serving as your moderator today. The first, you'll be hearing a presentation from, I think, saying it through the impact of seasonal affective disorder on green cryptocurrencies, the topic, and attached to Zeliha Can Ergün from Adnan Menderes University. Zeliha, if you are ready, we can start.
Yes, I am ready. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Let me first share my presentation. Yes, I'm Zeliha Can Ergün from Adnan Menderes University Faculty of Business. Today, I will present the impact of seasonal affective disorder on green cryptocurrencies, which is the topic of behavioral finance, actually. Before starting my presentation, I would like to give the outline. First of all, I will define what is SAD, seasonal affective disorder, and briefly I will mention about the related literature. Then I will give the aim of my study, and followingly I will explain the data and methodology and empirical results, and finally I will conclude my paper with discussion of the findings. Seasonal affective disorder in the psychology literature is referred to as winter depression or winter blues, and it is a major depressive disease which arises generally during the fall and winter when there are fewer daylight hours. The logic behind it is that when the nights get longer, people become more pessimistic. And in turn, it affects their risk aversion, and their risk aversion increases during these times. And in the financial markets, this increase in this risk aversion may affect the returns of stock markets. And there are many studies about this situation, because during these times, investors prefer safe assets. So their portfolio change and the stock markets may affect from this. From this idea, first of all, Kongre et al. In 2003 argued that argument, and they analyzed the SAD effect on various financial markets, and their results supported the idea that there is a SAD effect on many stock returns in different countries' financial markets. But this effect is particularly extreme in the countries with extreme latitude, such as Sweden and Australia, because the individuals in these countries are affected from this SAD, seasonal affective disorder, extremely than other countries. After that conclusion, many studies examine the effect of SAD on various stock market returns, and you can see the examples of this from this presentation. However, I observed that there is not much study that covers the SAD effect on other financial markets, such as the cryptocurrency markets. When I reviewed the literature on the cryptocurrencies, I observed that few studies examined the several seasonality effects on cryptocurrency returns, but only one study included their analysis, SAD, on cryptocurrencies with the several anomalies. And these cryptocurrencies are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Dash, Monero, NAM, and Ethereum classic returns. Their findings indicate that there is no statistically significant effect of SAD on these analyzed cryptocurrencies. However, in light of these explanations, you can notice that there is still a gap in the literature about the impact of SAD on the cryptocurrency market. So the main aim of my study is to analyze the effect of SAD on green cryptocurrency returns. The reason why I particularly choose the green cryptocurrency is that in the recent years, policymakers and investors have recently encouraged more environmentally friendly funding. So closely examining the green cryptocurrency market could reveal information about its effectiveness. So I determine three green cryptocurrency based on their market capitalization. As of April 2023, the top 7 green cryptocurrencies are Cardano, Tron, Avalanche, Stellar, Near, Algorand, and Cosmos. But Cardano, Tron, and Stellar offer the most historical information. Therefore, I choose particularly these 3 green cryptocurrencies. And my period covers the period spanning from January 2018 and to March 2023. First of all, I found US dollar daily closing prices of these 3 cryptocurrencies, and the natural logarithmic returns of them are calculated with the following formula. And later, I calculated SAD following Kamstra et al., which was the first paper that considered it for the financial markets. They define SAD as the HT minus 12 for trading days in winter and autumn, and 0 otherwise. It is like a dummy variable. And there, HT referred as the time from sunrise to sunset at a particular location or latitude. In other words, it is the number of hours of the night. So actually, SAD there shows us the number of hours of the night, how long the hours in that day. And to calculate HT at specific latitude, we have to first define the location, which latitude we have to use. When I searched for it, there are approximately 420 million cryptocurrency users worldwide, and the USA constitutes the majority of them. That's why New York City is selected as the location, and with this latitude, I calculate the sun's declination angle based on this formula. There, Julian is the number of days in the year, which takes the value of 1 to 365. Secondly, we calculated the HT with this formula, and then we can define the SAD with these calculations. And also, again, following Kamstra et al., I added some control variables in our analysis because due to the SAD, investors' risk aversion increases at the beginning of autumn, which is September 21st, which causes lower returns. In contrast, the risk aversion of investors is expected to decrease at the end of winter, and it results in higher returns. So we have to add a control variable for the autumn due to the possible asymmetrical effect of it. So we define the dummy variable fall T, which is 1 for trading days in the autumn and 0 otherwise. And additionally, we included 2 other seasonalities, which is the Monday effect and the tax loss selling effect, which are the popular calendar anomalies. Finally, we applied this regression equation for each cryptocurrencies. Their RIT is the logarithmic return of cryptocurrency, and these 2 variables are the 1 and 2 log returns, respectively. We included them to control for residual autocorrelation because there is a high autocorrelation problem in the model. And Kamstra et al. Suggested that we can include these lagged variables. And these are the seasonal affective disorder, fall dummy, Monday dummy, and tax loss selling dummy, respectively. The results show that, according to the F statistics, all the equations, all the models are statistically significant for all cryptocurrencies. R squares reflects that how much of the overall variation in the returns is explained by the regression model, and they are 9.3%, 53%, and 0.28% for Cardano, Tron, and Stellar, respectively. When we evaluate the coefficients of the variables, we observe there is no SAD effect, there is no significant effect of seasonal affective disorder on the examined cryptocurrency returns. And similarly, the coefficients of the false dummies are not statistically significant, so there is no asymmetrical return, and these two results are consistent with the findings of Kadan et al. And when we look at the Monday and tax loss selling variables dummies, they are again not statistically significant, so we cannot say that there is an effect of them. So to sum up, we can say that the results show that the green cryptocurrencies under consideration are not affected by the seasonal affective disorder, autumn, Monday, or tax loss selling effects, which are in line with the findings of Kadan et al. Such effects are probably diminished by the fact that cryptocurrency investors are dispersed around the world. So there is not only one country that invests in these cryptocurrencies. So the effect may diminished because of that. Therefore, due to these results, arbitrageurs are not unable to benefit from producing abnormal returns using these SAD seasonal return patterns. However, my analysis still needs a further investigation. For example, I only consider New York City for the latitude information. However, future research may alter the location to determine the latitude because cryptocurrency investors diverse around the world. And also in this study, I only applied a linear regression model. So future research may apply nonlinear approaches to determine the nonlinear patterns in the cryptocurrency returns. And they may assess more cryptocurrencies in their analysis to include more information about the cryptocurrency market. If you have any questions and comments, I would like to listen to them. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for addressing this interesting topic. And if you have any question for this kind of topics, you can go ahead and I'm gonna ask our participant, and you are the use your time on very well, and you got 12 minutes while you are doing your presentation. So if you haven't got any questions, we can move the other participant. Yes, Cemal Yılmaz is here.
I have one question.
Oh, of course, yes, go on.
Okay, firstly, I couldn't be in the beginning of the presentation. I attended a few in the middle of the presentation. Welcome. And also welcome there, Sabiha Kelek here.
Thank you.
She is also one of our lecturers in our university. And also, I have also a study on this subject, and it has just published in a Scopus journal. It's with Derbrock Ardo and Bertat Şahin. And we had used, I'm not sure about the number, but it was 9 or 11 cryptocurrencies, and nearly half of from the currencies with the highest market value and the others lower. And we had checked about the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and also the weekend, all the daily. We had used, I think, 6 or 7 dummies, but we had checked their effect on volatility. And our results were on Monday, Tuesday, and on Wednesday. On most of the cryptocurrencies, the dummy variable is significant and increases the volatility. And Thursday is mixed, but on Friday and at weekend, the volatility, the dummy variables had negative effects, so decreasing the volatility. You should also you can find easily on Google if you go on Google Scholar with my name. Sure. And also, Professor, you can maybe read it if it interests you. And I sometimes on main currencies we have some basic new results, but when we select some different type of currencies, the effects change and the results change. And I think that's one of the reasons maybe you couldn't find any significant results because these are green cryptocurrencies. Maybe it's also related with your sample. Thank you so much for attending our conference. Thank you so much for your research, taking a part here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I will read your study. Thanks for your suggestions.
Yes, and anyone to question? No one, I guess. Okay, and we can move with Mr. Yılmaz, Cemal Yılmaz. Right, okay. And his topic, do we need a free zone for healthcare in Turkey to become a global brand in health? It's a very interesting topic, yes. We all are here listening to you. You can start, by the way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I would like to thank also the organizing committee for this very useful event. Do you hear me? Is it clear? Okay. And I'm trying to see it on. And do you see also my presentation? Is it also clear?
We are seeing as a kind of a PDF format, right?
Yes, that's correct.
You can move, use this arrow.
Okay. I will keep my presentation about the new phenomenon of free zone for healthcare. This is one of the fewest research in Turkey, if it is not the only one. I hope that the research and also the academic scientific publications will be increased in the future. That's my hope. So if we are talking about the health-free zone, you can say this is a formula of consisting of health and free zone. It's in fact based on 2 different fields and also with 2 different historical development. It is a global phenomenon at the intersection of the both areas of concepts and practices. About the globalization, there are a lot of research made by national and international scientists, but generally they are defining it as a complex expression of the interactive evolution of millions of technological, cultural, economic, social, and environmental trends across all conceivable space-time scales. In the globalization process, with the effect of neoliberal policies that have become widespread throughout the world, especially since the 1980s, Transformation programs have been initiated in many areas, especially in economy and health. And the international capital mobility has increased. Investments and cooperation between countries have increased. Cross-border human visits have reached unprecedented levels. In parallel with these developments, new global products and markets such as health tourism and free zone for healthcare have evolved into competitive points between countries. Health-free zones is a new phenomenon, as I have mentioned before, and it has been put into the world agenda since the 2000s. The first health-free zone is established in Dubai by the Emirate of Dubai. As you know, United Arab Emirates is consisting of seven sovereign emirates. Dubai is the most famous of these emirates. In Dubai, the first one is established, and after that, we see China with Lecheng Hopsti. Lecheng, I don't know Chinese, of course, but I searched what does it mean, Lecheng. I found that it means hope, Hopsti. And after China, we see in Nigeria some initiatives, and also in South Korea, in Indonesia. So there are a number of initiatives and implementations in the world. What about Turkey, or Turkey with the new name? In Turkey, we see that the first step has been set by the minister of the time, Mr. Recep Akta, in 2010. It is a project of him. At the time, I was also making research at the Ministry of Health about health-free zones. In order to examine world examples, the health tourism coordinatorship, which has been established at the Ministry of Health at the time, made some research about health-free zones in the world. But with the change of the minister and the high-level bureaucrats, the SASEP project, SASEP is the abbreviation of the health-free zone. Health-free zone did not continue, but in various states, various initiatives were made by the private sector with no result, of course. So the question is why the countries want to establish a health-free zone, because there's freedom in establishing of any health institution, like hospitals and like medical centers, etc., etc. There are a lot of health institutions in the world. Why special health-free zones? As you know, the global health tourism market is increasing, growing every year. Countries want to profit, of course, benefit from the global health tourism market to attract foreign direct investments and technology transfer, health quality and standards to increase these standards, exchange information experience, attract specialist physicians and health personnel. Of course, there are a lot of factors that move the people to establish a health-free zone in their countries. But besides this economic and physical importance, there are also other factors which must be taken in consideration. For example, innovative structures, research and development centers, strong experimental laboratories, health education institutions, general hospitals, medical centers, etc., etc., etc. There are, of course, some limitations to practice traditional and complementary medicine, which we call in Turkish GETAT, geleneksel ve tradisyonel tıp, tamamlayıcı tıp This is, of course, also a new phenomena which has been introduced by the World Health Organization also in the beginning of the 2000s. Some of the experiments you cannot make in the existing traditional health centers, but in the free zones, you can do that. For example, as a matter of fact, alternative treatment methods that are not possible on the mainland are being tried in Lecheng City of Hope in China. Experimental laboratory and research and development studies and innovative scientific education activities are carried out in that Chinese health-free zone. Similarly, Dubai Health City consists of a collection of activities and disciplines that go beyond economic activities and beyond health and pharmaceutical services and studies. So, my research about health-free zone, the main question was, of course, do we need a health-free zone in Turkey or not? We made research about that and have chosen quantitative research method. You can ask why quantitative research method, because it is on the one hand stands out in terms of collecting reliable, fast, large, and accurate data and limiting prejudice. Especially in the Likert type multiple choice scales, the answers to short questions are usually clear and easy to digitize. On the other hand, it strengthens that it provides the opportunity to generalize to the population, and that it provides the opportunity to work quickly with closed-ended questions, and that's repeatable also, of course. And there's no intervention in the case in quantitative survey research. Perhaps this is the minus point, but from the other side, you can determine everything in the beginning of the survey. It is what we have chosen as a research design. And as a sample group, we have worked with health sector workers in Turkey, or related sectors to the health sector. Sample group is consisting of 518 people. It is a good number for this kind of research. I will give you some information about our sample group. As you see, total number is 491, because there were some data we couldn't find a solution. Some of them were, we call it uç değerler, were extreme values. Therefore, we have moved some of the answers. So total 491 remain. And with this number, we made our analysis, and total 328 female and 163 male. As you know, the health sector is defined as a feminine sector, because in that sector, most of the workers are female. This is also in the research made by the International Labour Organization and the World Health Organization. They obtained data from 189 countries, including Turkey. The result indicates, result of the World Health Organization research, 67% of the people working in the global health sector are women. We found the same, approximately same results ratio in Turkey, 66%. It's very close to the global ratio. And also the degree, approximately 83% of the participants has a university or degree, university and above, university, master and doctorate degree. It shows that we have a very good sample, which represents the population. And finally, the results of this research, as you see, approximately 59% of the participants found that there's a need for a health-free zone in Turkey, and only we can say 3.2% found that there's no need for a health-free zone in Turkey. 37.7%, approximately 38% said that they don't have any idea about health-free zone, whether there's a need or not. But if you look to the majority of the participants, it's 59%, it's very high percent. In spite of that, they didn't know exactly what does it mean if we talk about health-free zones. So the results has shown that there's a need, that's definitive, but we need also in the future detailed information about a lot of sub-subjects of health-free zones.
Yes, this is your last words. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
I would like, thank you.
So I have one question.
Please, yes.
As a country, we don't produce any technological management system. So what do you think about this free zone healthcare system can be divided hub and spoke? Because we cannot manage in this area very well. I thought like this. According to the technological development, we are not very well doing this time. We are gaining the technological from the other countries. So what do you think for 10 years later, our country will be use this power and for the healthcare?
Well, in fact, we have our healthcare infrastructure is not bad. To be honest, it is not bad. If you are talking about production of health systems, we were not so good in, but the last years we see, you can say, improvement in that area. We are now also producing, sometimes in cooperation with other countries in that area, which are very, very, you can say, developed. But in Turkey, we see more and more improvements. If you ask me about 10 years, our main problem is not the infrastructure, but our main problem is the, you can say, human resource, and also the deficient in standards and accreditation. Our standards are on paper very high, but in practice, the implementation, there are a lot of problems. If we can solve the implementation problems, I think that Turkey has good, you can say,
position all over the world.
Position, yes, to be a global brand and a hub in the world. Yes.
Thank you for this full informatical ideas. And any question from other participants? I think no.
Ben arada el kaldırıyorum.
I can't see. I'm so sorry.
Okay, I want to make a contribution also for your question too. And I've been in a few investment committees for startups, and I see that there are many new projects on health systems and healthcare and in medicine generally, and this sector is really good in Turkey, and there are also some new ideas as productions, and I think if we can fund enough that projects, that startups, there will be many coming new systems on health, not just for healthcare systems, but for the others too. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, can we continue our third presentation? Ms. Uysal and Mr. Suat, am I correct? This is your turn. And are you here?
Yeah,
Yes.
hello.
Okay. Hello, how are you?
Thank you, dear
Okay.
chair and guest. Hello to all.
Thanks.
From Istanbul Okan University.
Ah.
So far, very interesting and current subject has been discussed
Mhm.
at the conference. Although many different subjects were presented, the human factor and leaders were mentioned in most of the study. And our topic is directly on this.
Yes,
And
the topic name, the effect of authentic leadership on
Yeah.
innovative work behavior, psychological empowerment, and work engagement, and research and banking sector. Very interesting topic. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very
You're
current,
sharing
very
us.
popular, and we can connect this study, this topic to many subjects
Okay,
also.
thank you. You can start.
Okay, now late Saat Mahmud from Iraq, Baghdad, will present the study. Please, late Mahmud, here you are. You can go on.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Dear chair, guest, and participant, hello, welcome to our session. I am Les Saad Mahmoud. I graduated from Okan University in Business Administration Master's program last year. I am currently working in a public sector in Baghdad, Iraq. This study will be presented and taken from my master thesis that I prepared with supervision of Assistant Professor Bainaz Aysal. And the title of it is Effect of Authentic Leadership on Innovative Work Behavior, Psychological Empowerment, and Work Engagement. And the study was in the banking sector. I will make this presentation with the following headings. First of all, I will briefly talk about the background on the purpose and model of significance of the study. Next, I will briefly describe the variables of the research model. I will also talk about the research method. After that, I will share the findings and the research. Finally, I will share the conclusion and recommendation. I would like to start my presentation by briefly describing the today business life and focusing on the main challenges. And the most important feature today, business life, are fast changing, high competition, uncertainty, and complexity, and the high risk, changing expectation and needs of different stakeholders, being innovative and increasing importance for ethical value of the behavior.
Late Mahmud.
Sorry.
Please move the slides also.
Slides, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. In order to cope these difficulties of necessities of business life, employees need to exhibit different behavior. Employees should be more innovative, engaged, and ready to take new responsibility and to start an initiative in the context. In this context, role and behavior of the leaders are changing. The leaders should inspire and empower employees, behave ethically and transparently and objectively. The approach and behavior expected from leaders being, to our mind, authentic leadership style. Based on what I said, it was decided to study on the effect of authentic leadership on the needs of employee behaviors. The purpose of this study is to highlight the effect of authentic leadership on the subdimension of innovative work behavior and psychological empowerment and work engagement. Here we can see the model of the study. It shows dependent variable as authentic leadership and independent variable with innovative work behavior, psychological empowerment, and work engagement. Now we will take the brief definition for each of them, of the variables. Authentic leadership is a pattern of transparent, ethical leader behavior that encourage openness in exchanging information, which is necessary for decision making and accepting the participant followers. Innovative work behavior is individual action focused on exploration and research to implement a new idea or create practical products or service. Work engagement, work engagement is a positive, fulfilling work related to the state of mind that is characterized by vigor, dedication, and absorption. And psychological empowerment is an employee belief that they can influence and have a large impact on their own workplace, as well as psychological state that which employees experience, meaning competence, self-determination, and impact. The significance of the study is about the potential contribution we aimed that we can experience significance of this following. There has been limited numbers of the study on authentic leadership in Turkey workplace and its effect on Turkish employees. The main contribution will be the Turkish leadership literature. The number of the study examining the effect of authentic leadership on their variables is very limited. Furthermore, it will contribute in the literature of a global leadership by demonstrating indirectly if the finding differ from different cultures. The hypothesis of the research, in accordance to this, with the purpose of the model of the research, the following hypotheses we are formed in this study. Hypotheses we formed state that authentic leadership and subdimension has significant effect on innovative work behavior and psychological empowerment and work engagement. Procedures. The study based on empirical method and survey technique, also sampling method were used. And the sample of the research consists of 600 employees working in a bank sector. Instrument. In this instrument, we have 5 parts. First part was the demographic part, which consists of 8 questions, and the rest is authentic leadership scale, which is developed by William Bois and others, 2008. This has 16 items and 4 subdimensions. Innovative work behavior developed by De Jong and De Hortak, 2010, and the work engagement scale was developed by Schiffley and other, 2006, and psychological empowerment scale was developed by Spitzer, 1995. The data analyzed. The data were analyzed by a statistical package of social science 2.40 program and Lizrol 8.7 validity and reliability analysis were carried out in order to measurement feature of the scales. Confirmatory factor analysis was applied to the data. Demographic distribution was examined by frequency and percentage analysis. The distribution of the data with central tendency measurement was examined, and the result of the distribution of the data regression analysis were performed exam effect of independent variables of the hypothesis on dependent variable. In order to test reliability, we examine Cronenbach alpha value of the scales. We have so Cronenbach value of all scale was over than 0.9, and the result shows that it's highly relative. Here we have the hypothesis. Yeah, here we have the factor analysis for authentic leadership scale. We have, after testing reliability scale, descriptive factor analysis was done on the scale for factor structure. According to this, finding, it was determined that the factor structure explained for all scales and all was confirmed. And the result of the confirmatory factor analysis fit value for innovative work behaviors, as well for work engagement and for the psychological empowerment. Here we have the questionnaire part. The 8th question we ask for the participant in order to determine the demographic characteristic of the participant. And this result of the demographic distribution of the participant, we can say that briefly that half of the participant was female, and more than half of them, sorry, was females, and 46% of them was married, and 47% of them has been having the bachelor degree, as we can see the other statistics. Pearson correlation. Here is the Pearson correlation analysis were performed to examine the relation between the variables. According to this, the result of correlation analysis, we can say that there is a positive relationship between authentic leadership and other dependent variable. Regression analysis. Here we have regression analysis. It's used to test the hypothesis. Before beginning regression analysis, the assumption of the regression analysis were examined. As a result of the distribution of analysis, it was determined that the data obtained came from normal distribution. Hypothesis, hypothesis 1 here, it was determined that 95% of confidence level that the general authentic leadership had substantial influence on innovative work behavior. It was determined that the general authentic leadership explained 37.7% of innovative work behavior level. Durbin-Watson value was checked to examine whether there was autocorrelation between regression model for the each of coefficient in the model, and it was decided that there was no autocorrelation for each established regression coefficient, since the value was between 1 to 3. After all, what we can say, hypothesis 1 was significantly positive on innovative work behavior. We can conduct the regression analysis for the hypothesis the same. And we have here in the findings, after using again regression analysis, we can say that the hypothesis about the positive effect of authentic leadership on psychological empowerment was accepted. After using the regression analysis, we can say the hypothesis also in this part was accepted. Yeah. And the finding parts table here show the summary of findings, and according to the hypothesis, all was accepted except only one has been rejected, which is the balance processing. Processing has no positive effect. As a result of the study, we can say that authentic leadership has increased the innovative work behavior, psychological empowerment, and work engagement of employees. A limitation of the study. There are same limitation of the study. Sample was choosing from one sector from Turkey. Then the result cannot be generalized. Another limitation of this related common method bias. The recommendation, we can have some recommendation for the future study. Future study on the same topic can be conducted in the different societies, sectors, and occupations. A research model can be explained with a different dependent mediator and moderator variable. conclusion, from the particular perspective, the result of the study show it's important for the leaders to truly understand themselves and how they affect the employees. Authentic leadership, innovative work behaviors, ecological empowerment, and work engagement can be improved with the various human resource and OD program. Additionally, this variable can be measured through survey regularly to understand employees' level. Managers need to attend authentic leadership training program in order to develop some skills and competencies. In this regard, leaders should be willing and continuous should give into them. Thank you. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you so much. And Mrs. Uysal, you wanna say something about your presentation? Because you were together present this, you will together work on this topic, right? And if you want to add something to this panel, and you can say, of course. And I'm going to ask you, why are you choosing this, the authentical leadership topic?
In our age, we are talking about, discussing about innovation, having some positive impact, or we are having some difficult times, difficult crises. In order to cope with these difficult times, we need some different kinds of leaders for being more innovative, for being more resilient, and we need different kinds of leadership style, and this can be cure for our age, for our people. And this type of leaders actually care their followers. And actually in our human history, we discovered our emotions, our values, our ethical things, and these are most important things in our age, and this leadership focus on these basic things, and we hope some principles from this leadership styles can be helpful, can be cure for our future. And we are also talking about women, equality,
Yes.
and other sustainability, resilience, and this leadership style is directly related to many current issues.
Yes, thank you so much. And I want you to talk to you. So it's very important and valuable information you gave us. If anyone else, and Dr. Koy, if you want to ask some questions, yes, you can, or any participant can ask some questions.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution.
Okay, thank you. I guess it's my turn. My professionalism is about aviation sector. So I want you to inform about the airport transportation, not only the global companies, but I have to indicate the little small companies, especially in Cappadocia and hot air balloon transportation. And my topic's name is an adventure tourism story in the branding process and hot air balloon management success in Cappadocia. I move like this because my presentation is more longer than yours, but I make it shorter, believe me, and I want to inform about the contents. First, I make some clarification, geographical location and the city branding, and then we're gonna talk about the flight side, and I need to point about the three important events and development of hot air ballooning management, and currently data analysis in this tourism. All data is taken from the World Bank data, and also the literature review, and also the company's researcher and the dialogue we got some more important companies within Cappadocia. And the leadership movements is very important because in Cappadocia, some of leadership follow the leads. And the last one, the conclusion, of course. And I want you to say something, the city brandings. City brandings means all activities carried out to transform a particular city into attraction, living center where people want to continue their lives, work, invest, study, and visit instead of being perceived as an ordinary settlement in the target audience, mind by taking advantage of brand strategies and techniques. So this air ballooning is made on the Nevşehir Ürgüp, and so it's very important for this region because there's the weather possibilities cannot be allow you to fly. I'm gonna say something about in here, and this in here the basic elements required for a region to form is tourism. Supply can be listed as follows: attractions, events, accessibility, tourism enterprises, and the image. So you know this kind of advertisement, maybe we can make it up our mind, this kind of advertisement, but it's not like this. I have to say this because according to Turkstat statistics, the number of tourists visiting in Turkey in 2012 was around 37 million, and tourism revenue was approximately $29.4 billion. So we have to get into deeply the previous years, because you know between 2020 and 2022, this years we had a very deep impact for the transportation as a passenger or the cargo loading procedures, and we have to get in the previous years and previous statistics and analyses. We have to say, we have to inform about this kind of topics. And Cappadocia is a region visited by approximately 2.5 and 3 billion tourists per year. It is one of the most popular tourism centers in the world, with its natural beauties and potential in terms of faith tourism. And you're aware of, if you are living in Turkey as a tourist or as a citizen, you face this kind of information. And currently in 2042, it mentioned more than 20 balloon companies operate in the region. So in Cappadocia, the number of tourists who traveled to the region from the air with hot air balloons in 2013 exceeded 300,000. And this another information. But in the last 20 years, significant investments have been made in Cappadocia with the balloon tourism. Is very important because the flights center in Turkey and the world very important and most important balloon flight region in Ürgüp. And all this data information we are taking the World Data Bank and also the Civil Aviation Authorities. And also I'm going to say here, Cappadocia region touristic air balloon flies and tourist numbers, and between 2014 and 2018 years, according to this, is a very important number of flights belonging to 25 balloon enterprises. You see the years and the number of flights and number of tourists. In our country, all over the world, for the other countries, is a very important part of the tourism and the gaining some economic growing, and we are gaining this kind of specific and special region, more economic powerful. And the other table is for region domestic and foreign visitors, accordingly 2010 and 2016 in here, and we divided actually by the years and the months in here. This taken is for a provisional director for culture and tourism department. Another one, I'm gonna make it clear in here because we are going upgrading our balloons and enterprises by year, but we stopped at 2019 because of the pandemic. and you see the number of flights and the frequency according to the years. I'm gonna quickly pass this because I got 12 minutes in here. Maybe you can ask some question about transportation, air transportation in our country. And here, air transportation is very important for the logistics and all the country's economic growing. And especially the competitiveness in our countries. But in Europe is will make it achieve this very quickly and powerfully. According to this sector, we divided the three sectors: sector A, sector B, and sector C. This is determined by the slot service center, because you know the air transport is related to the weather, is related to the traffic, is related to the winds, and you have to know how could you get in the through by the air. So this slow service indicates you have to use this sector A or sector B between January and the April months. You have to use sector B according to this, and this all the meteorological assessments is related to. And in our country, Europe is the best ballooning system management, because we got three important events and developments in our ballooning. The first event, Hasan Ezel and Bilge Ezel brothers, who work as balloon pilots on behalf of Rax Cast Company. And then the second event, the first listed balloon company, was established by Lars Erik Moore and his wife Kelly Kinder. And the third one is in 1997, after the organization of the first World Air Games in Cappadocia, it gained a new moment, and we can say in shortly. And if you see here, development in Cappadocia had air ballooning between the 1984 and 1997. You see this, the purpose and the location and the company and the pilots and the license. We give all these details in here. After that, and I want you to see this one, the current data into tourism is very important for us because it's from the World Bank data, and you see this graphics, the number of arrivals for the Turkey international tourism and the received current US dollars based, and you see there's a very good movements on these years. But suddenly in 2019, we dropped very badly this kind of tourism strategies. We have to indicate the preparation for all these tourism sectors management. And the other data, European ranking of number of tourists by country, we got the 4th rank in the million people, and the other one, revenues by country, in the 6th rank we placed as a country. And the world ranking of number of tourists by country as a million people in here is again the 6th rank, and the world ranking of tourism revenues by country $1 billion in the 14th rank we settled down. Okay, and these intercompany leadership movements, we can say about some kind of air ballooning models in here, because if you are doing this transportation management, you have to get some license certificate from the General Directorate of Civil Aviation, and you have kind of get this type certificate, and design organization is a production organization also. These all approvals are needed to get this kind of company. And about our conclusion, the hot air balloon, which has become an important touristic product for Cappadocia, differs from other tourist products offered in the region as a destination attraction at the same time. This situation is closely related to the destination image of Cappadocia, and the image of hot air balloons has become an integral part of the image of Cappadocia. And now we can say about this after pandemic. We use some transportation, and artificial intelligence programming devices. But airborne transportation, maybe we can use later. If we are faced with some problems, artificial intelligence, we can transport and we can transport the people and the passenger and the cargos, of course. Okay, thank you so much. And this presentation is kind of an advertisement because I love my country and I love Ürgüp also. And if you have any question for the air transportation about Ürgüp, and you can ask as far as I can answer to you. Okay. Yes, so we can continue, I guess. Dear
Thank you for your nice presentation, their chair.
Thank you. And our last participant, and I'm gonna check my first. I stop in here. How can I stop my presentation? I don't know here. So I cannot find it. Thank you. Okay. Yes, the last participants.
Can you hear me, hocam?
Yeah.
Okay. Just 1 minute.
Yeah, our last presentation, Mr. Çelik and Mr. Ibrahim, I guess.
Yes.
Bülent Ibrahim, and your topic, a bibliometric analysis of sports marketing, research and
Yes.
communication. Okay, thank you. You're
Yeah,
welcome here.
can you see my screen? Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, so thank you for everyone. Today we will talk about a bibliometric analysis of sport marketing research in communication. So the leader of this project is Dr. Fatih Çelik from Trabzon University. He's the leader and he's the first author. And I am Bülent Ibrahim from Istanbul Ticaret Üniversitesi. This project is part from a big project related to marketing, communication, and tourism from systematic review and bibliometric analysis. So I have a lot of slides. I will just go quickly about the topic. First, introduction, we talk about how much in the age where communication strategy are evolving, sport marketing has started to be more power around the world. So organization now, they're starting to benefit from this sport marketing and sport event to understand the complex dynamic of marketing, of sport marketing and the impact in communication field. So as you know, a lot of event and sport event happening around the world. So for this, all the company trying to benefit from these things to increase the communications between the people. So this is give also more important for the researcher to start to search about the topic. If we want to go more about the gap of the study, in last 20 years or more, sport marketing start to get more more interest in the research. And also a lot of communication researchers start to go behind this area. So this is encourage a lot of encourage us to starting to think about why we are not making one articles or one bibliometric analysis about sport marketing research in the field of the communication. So we just focus on this area. Second things, a lot of articles happened in this area. So this field have maturated enough that to encourage us to make this study. So when you have a lot of articles, you can make easily bibliometric or systematic analysis about it. So you can give overall idea or view for all next researcher to know what happened and what will be happen in the future as a research agenda, as a future studies. We discovered that there is no a systematic review or literature review on the topic has not been published to our knowledge. So this is also one of the gap. Also, we're thinking that this review will provide a one-stop and update overview about the field without going behind all the articles and research. Last things, or also we will provide update overview because we will make classification depending on different analysis. So we will use bibliometric analytic techniques. Last one, he will offer more comprehensive windows into the past, what happened in the past, and we will try to understand why this has happened, why some topics continue until now, why some topics didn't examined anymore. Also, for research question, we have several research questions. First one, what's the current overview of sport marketing literature from different aspects? Annual number of articles, most popular journals which publish this type of articles. Also, we will have which author have most contributed in the field, which country produce more article in the field. We will make word concept during different analysis. We will know which most cited article in the topic. We will go about the intellectual structure of sport marketing. Depending on different analysis, we will start to understand the social structure of this sport marketing studies. For methodology, to be more clear, I will go more quick. We will use systematic literature review. We will focus on sport marketing communication. It will be hybrid between two fields. We will make more inductive, and we will explain the inductive in the next slide. We will focus on different analysis, starting from performance analysis to know the frequency, and scientific mapping. We will use different analysis. For contributions, we will have different contribution. We will provide overview about current knowledge, evaluation of this knowledge. We will try to understand methodologies, more descriptive about what happened, what's depending on each classification. We will know the productivity of the co-author, depending on countries, depending on journal. And last thing, we will try to understand the social structure of the things. So for first, for inductive, we will go to search about two terms: marketing, sponsorship, advertise, brand promotion, consumer behavior, and event. Second one, we will search about sport. So for first things, we will focus on Scopus, just Scopus articles. The research domain, it will be communication also. We will have focus between 1979 until May 2023. We will search title, keyword, and abstract. So the first search, we have like 660 publication. After that, we should be make more screening about this to know what we can reduce or what we can remove depending on our criteria. We exclude everything related to conference, proceeding, book, and trade journal and non-English articles. So in the end, we have 528 articles. We will do different analysis, like I say before. I will go about it in next slide. This is the overview result of us. We have 528 document from 150 source. The number of author, 1,004 author. And also the author keyword is 1,490. So this is here the result of publication depending on the year, and you can see the peak number of the publications. It was in 2021, and after that reduced until 2023. This is logic because we are in the 5th month of 2023. Also, the most productive sources as a journal, we can see the first one is Communication and Sport Journal with 83 articles. Most relevant articles, Hodgson, he wrote 8 articles about the topic. Also for country productions, we have number 1 US with 428 articles published in the field. And we coming to the next to the next second and third, UK and Australia. Most cited is Gwinner 590 citation. Also for the word cloud, we try to understand what's the most important, what's the most word cloud repeated. You can see social media, sport, media, and Olympic. This can give us idea that most of the article can be around this topic. Also for coherence network of keywords, we can see here there is cluster depending on each topic. This topic he show us which is the most words can be linking as a small structure, small cluster. So we can see social media with some keywords in the same, like sport marketing, fan engagement, relation marketing, or we can see sport in general, or we can see sport journalism. For co-citation, also the most cited articles, we can see like some articles cited more from other articles, so they make cluster to each other. This is happening in all the field. There are some articles focusing on special issue, and all this author cite this article year after year. This is also collaboration network. We didn't go in details, but this is like just a result. A collaboration network, what's the meaning of each collaboration? Why this author coming to each other? This is normally happening in bibliometric and systematic analysis. So we try to just do, we didn't go in details. Conclusion. So first, I will just go quickly. We use different type of, we use the article between 1979 and 2003. We use different method, word cloud, co-word analysis, and co-citation. For most important contribution, we're trying to bridge the gap between communication literature and sport marketing research. Second one, will help the research and practitioner to understand what's the overall view of this research. So they will try to get the most important topics and what's the research agenda for future, so they can do this research in future. Also, they formulate a new research question depending on research agenda. They will also overview how different research working from different countries in the field of communication. The people in America or Europe, they focusing on this area. So maybe another type of another side of the world can be focused on another topics. Also, if we go to limitation, we just focus on Scopus studies. So maybe in future, we will, if we expand the project, we can also use Web of Science. We exclude everything related to which called gray literature review. So we didn't include any article with is not in English, which is conference, which is not pre-review article. Also, we focus just in English. We didn't go in detail in different topics. Last things, the aim of this research was to provide overview the topic. Detailed discussion were not possible because we didn't go in detail. This is like just part of another big project. I finished. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ibrahim. Yes, dear Ayben, you got some question. I guess I see your face and you are ready to question.
No, this time I don't have any question because, but I want to thank to their Bülent Ibrahim, one of our assistant professors here. So he has got many research and he's a really good researcher. Generally, I have read his econometric analysis, but this time we had listened another one. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you, Hocam. Thank you
to our conference. Thank you for your attendance. It's really. I'm really happy that many of our researchers and students attending to the conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hocam.
Thank you, all participants.
Thank you.
This panels will be closed shortly now. Yes. If you want, you can log off and log in at the other session if you attend the other session, because I'm going to attend the Mr. Öz session. I'm very curious about the topics for the other session. If you want to come, and we will come.
Thank you hocam.
Thank you. Thank you. See ya.
Thank you.